Looking at this example, before I talk about any other ideas, just using what you already know. If Karen's favorite food is the same as Lisa's, and Lisa's is the same as Shelley's, what could you say? Based on only this information, you would be able to say that Karen has the same favorite food as Shelley. What you've actually just done is use the law of syllogism, which is also called the law of transitivity. Symbolically, what that's showing you is that if P, then Q, and then Q implies R, what you would get to say is that P implies R. Basically, what that's saying is if you are ending with the exact same thing as you are starting the next statement with, they form like a link in the chain. Those come out and you can push the ends together to make one if-then statement for your conclusion. So some examples of this. If Scott stays out too late, then he will be tired. If Scott is tired, then he will not do well in his geometry test. What we can do is, since we are ending the first sentence with then he will be tired, and we're starting the second sentence with he is tired, we can cross those off. And then our conclusion is, if Scott stays out too late, then he will not do well in his geometry test, which is true, by the way. Next example. If you drive too fast, then you are speeding. If you are speeding, then you might get a ticket. So again, ending with your speeding, we can cross off because it links with the speeding at the beginning of the next sentence. And you're left with your answer, the if-then statement. If you drive too fast, then you might get a ticket, which is also true. We aren't limited to just 2 sentences. It can be any number of sentences long. So if we have one here with 3, if we build a campfire, then we'll have to put it out. And to put out our campfire, we will need to bring water. If we need to bring water, then we will need to buy some containers. So we've got some overlapping that's going on. If we build a campfire, then we'll have to put it out. We can cross off because we're talking about putting out the campfire in the beginning of the next sentence. And then, looking at the middle sentence and the last sentence, we see that bringing water is what we end the middle sentence with. And we're starting the third sentence with bringing water. So with everything, all those links just crossed off, linked up, our final answer would become, if we build a campfire, then we will need to buy some containers. And here is a favorite of some with geometry. If a quadrilateral is a square, then it contains 4 right angles. If a quadrilateral contains 4 right angles, then it is a rectangle. Take a minute and decide what your conclusion would be. And there it is. If a quadrilateral is a square, then it is a rectangle, is the correct answer. So all of those examples are using the law of syllogism, which is also called the law of transitivity, depending on possibly what textbook you might be looking at it from.